even if he's a non-Muslim, my experience tells me that 99% time, he will give you time off for your salah. But you should request him nicely, humbly. But when he gives you time off, there are some Muslims who take a break for more than an hour for salah. And they say, we have gone to a far off mosque. The employer will start thinking that have you gone for salah or have you gone for a stroll? I have got no objection if a person goes to pray in the masjid, the mosque, if it's close by. If it's not close by, or it will take a lot of time, you can very well even pray in the office. You can have a compact prayer mat, a musalla, and keep in a locker. As I mentioned in my talk, our beloved Prophet said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 1, in the book of Salaah, chapter number 56, hadith number 429, that the earth has been made for me and my followers as a masjid, as a place for doing sujood. Therefore, when the time for prayer is up, you can pray. You can even offer in your office, see to it that you find a very clean place, and you can offer salah. Don't pray extra nawafil, etc. Pray your farz salah, as well as sunnat muakkada. That is sufficient. But there are some people who, when they go to offer salah, and if they find that picture is obstructing them for salah, they take out the picture. Or they cover the picture with the cloth. If the picture is obstructing your salah, pray in another room. Why you have to pray in the room which has the picture? Go in another room. Then there are some people who in a non-Muslim office, they want to make a jamaat. I have got no objection if you make a jamaat. But see to it that all the Muslim employees in the office don't leave the work simultaneously so that the office work comes to a standstill. You can very well pray in several jamaats. As if you see, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 1, in hadith number 6 to 7, in the book of Adhan, chapter number 35. It says that even a jamaat can be made by 2 people. Even 2 people are sufficient for jamaat. So if you work in non-Muslim atmosphere, don't put the office work at standstill. Offer in various jamaats. And if a person, if a Muslim works dedicatedly, honestly, no employer, even if he is a non-Muslim, will prevent you from a break for offering salah. If your employer is uncompromising, you can very well bargain with him and tell him that, okay, I will not take my tea break. Please give me break for my asar salah. Or you can say that if I take a 10 minutes break, after office hours, I will work double. I will work triple. I will work for half an hour free of charge. Don't give me overtime. Any businessman will agree with the person who is taking 10 minutes off and is working half an hour extra after office hours. Normally you have to pay double or 1.5 times. So you tell him, I will work thrice the time of the break and don't give me a single pie. He will surely agree. But in extreme cases, if your employer is amongst the 1% or uncompromising at all, the best option for you is remaining is that you change the job. Offering salah is fard. If the employer is amongst the 1% who doesn't give you off for salah, change the job. You may never know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you a job in which you may earn more. But irrespective whether you earn more or less in the new job, offering salah will gain you more benefit in the hereafter than not offering and getting a few 100 rupees more. Unfortunately, even in some of the Muslim offices, which have most of the employees in it Muslims, they don't offer salah. Neither alone, neither in jamaat. I would like to request all the Muslim brothers that in their office, they should see to it that they themselves, along with their employees who are Muslims, they should offer salah. And there are always ways in which you cannot disturb your office work and yet offer salah. In fact, in the long run, if you offer salah along with the employees, it will help you in your business and you will make more profit. Hope that answers the question.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Are women allowed to pray in the mosque?
The sister asked the question that, are women allowed to pray in a mosque? There is no verse in the Holy Quran which prohibits a woman from praying in the mosque. Neither is there any authentic hadith which says that a woman cannot pray in a mosque or go to a mosque. In fact, there are several hadith which speak the opposite. If you read Sahih Bukhari, volume number 1, the last hadith, hadith number 832 of the book of characteristics of Salaah, which is chapter number 84, it says that when your wives ask to go to the mosque, do not forbid them. It's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 1, in the book of characteristics of Salaah, chapter number 80, hadith 824. It says that when the woman asks you to go to the mosque at night, allow them. Even at night, when they ask you to go to the mosque, the Sahih Bukhari, volume 1, hadith number 824 says that you should allow them to go to the mosque. This is also mentioned in Sahih Muslim, which Sahih Muslim, volume number 1, in the book of Salaah, chapter number 175, hadith number 881, it says that Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, he said that the best row for the men are the first rows, and the worst are the last rows. The best rows for the women are the last rows, and the worst are the first rows, indicating that men and women pray together in the mosque. And when they pray together, the best row for the men is the first row, and the best for the women is the last row. The worst for the men is the last row, and worst for the women is the first row. There are several hadith. If you read Sahih Muslim, volume number 1, in the book of Salaah, chapter 177, hadith number 884, it says that do not prevent the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go to the mosque. Sahih Muslim, volume 1, book of Salaah, chapter number 177, hadith number 891, it says that do not take away the share of the mosque of the women. That means during the time of the Prophet, the women did go to the mosque and Prophet never prevented them from entering the mosque. But whenever women enter the mosque, there should be equal and separate facility in the mosque. There should be no intermingling of the sexes, like how you have in the other place of worship. Otherwise, people will go more for East-teasing than to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Separate entrance, separate wudu facility, separate place for prayer. And but natural, a woman cannot stand in front of the men. Otherwise the men will concentrate more on the women than on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Equal but separate facilities. If it's side, then preferably a partition, or they should pray behind. Equal but separate facilities. If you analyze, if you go to Saudi Arabia, the women are allowed in the mosque. Even in the Haramain Sharif, the Masjid al-Haram in Makkah and Masjid Nabawi in Medina, the women are allowed in the mosque. You go to America, women are allowed in the mosque. You go to UK, women are allowed in the mosque. You go to South Africa, women are allowed in the mosque. Women are allowed in the mosque in almost all parts of the world. It's only in India that most of the mosques do not give permission for the women to enter. But alhamdulillah, there are a few mosques in Bombay which I know of, which do allow women to enter. And when I'd been to Kerala last year, they told me that there were no less than 500 mosques in Kerala alone, which had separate facilities for the women to pray. So inshallah, I believe that all those who are trustees of the mosque, even they refer to the Sahih Hadith, and they do not prevent the female servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from entering the mosque even in Bombay. Hope that answers the question.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sheikh Ahmed, working profession, and my question to Brother Zakir is, what is the significance of raising our hands while saying takbir during Salah?
The brother asked the question that what is the significance of raising the hands when we say takbir in Salah. Hands are a symbol of power and force. When we Muslims raise the hand in Salah, it mainly signifies three things. First, we are submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By raising our hands, we are signifying so as to say that, oh Allah, I submit to you. Like how when we want a person to surrender, we say hands up. You know, police says hands up to the robber. Indirectly telling him that you surrender. So when we do hands up, we are surrendering to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And simultaneously, when we raise a hand, it also signifies